In today's video, we're going to review 12 states that are leading the charge to push a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Spot ETFs that have been filed set for starting as soon as tomorrow. Former SEC counsel who has comments about digital assets are not securities. Comments from Larry Fink. We can see clearly how they are buying millions worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum. We will also be going over the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and XRP. You definitely want to stick around for this video. Thanks again for tuning in to X Rapid Charts. My name is SB, and this is not financial advice. It's highly possible that the SEC will confirm Grayscale's application for the XRP spot ETF as early as Thursday, February 13th. Now, the final deadline, just to highlight that, is all the way out into October. But again, the SEC typically has around 15 days to acknowledge the 19B-4 filing. And again, we can see here Litecoin, Solana, XRP, and Dodge. It looks like HBAR and Polkadot may also be on there soon, but that has yet to be confirmed. Things are definitely heating up as we get closer and closer. Now, it shows here, according to the odds of approval, the first one really looking like Litecoin. And if you do look at Litecoin charts today, the volume that's picking up there, followed by Dogecoin as at 75%, Solana at 70%, and XRP at 65%. Now, here's some comments. Corey Garrison around digital assets are not securities, according to the Gensler-era lawsuits that should be withdrawn.
So what can the SEC actually accomplish? I offer the following suggestions, which I believe are consistent with Commissioner Peirce's 10 priorities. First, the SEC should articulate a sound legal interpretation for when digital asset transactions are subject to the securities laws. A clean break is needed from the Gensler-era's legal imprecision and sweeping assertion that nearly all digital assets are securities. The interpretation should begin with an acknowledgement that the digital asset itself is not a security. A disciplined transaction-by-transaction analysis must be used to determine whether an investment contract is present because it is required by the case law and should be adhered to by the Commission. Second, the SEC should consider withdrawing Gensler-era litigation alleging unregistered exchange, broker-dealer, and clearing agency activity.
So there you have it, pro-crypto legislation coming our way. Let's take a quick look here at the Arkham alert. BlackRock buying Ethereum and Bitcoin, and we can see here their wallets, 23.96 million Bitcoin and 12 million Ethereum. So despite prices being fairly drawn back, this is the time that we see institutions jumping in and loading up. So again, going back to BlackRock CEO Larry Fink back when Bitcoin was at $5,800, with him specifically stating that Bitcoin just shows you how much demand for money laundering there is in the world. Fink, the head of the largest asset management firm in the world, said at an international finance meeting that that's all it is. So now let's fast forward to more recent comments from Larry.
As a huge believer of crypto and blockchain and tokenization, I want the SEC to rapidly approve the tokenization of bonds and stocks.
And then here's more recently him being asked about XRP.
How about an XRP ETF? I know you got Ether out there. How about XRP? Can you answer that?
I can't.
Things are definitely wrapping up in the ETF realm. Now, if we go to look at some of the updates around the states, so as of today, we have the state of Mexico who filed for a strategic Bitcoin reserve. We also have Oklahoma.
House Bill 1203.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 1203 will allow our state to invest in Bitcoin, which is the best performing asset of the last decade. And to be clear, this does not require an investment. It merely allows it at the discretion of our fund managers and makes sure that they cannot allocate more than 10%. I yield for questions and I move for adoption.
Got to do pass?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion or debate? Seeing none, please open the vote. May is aye. Close the vote. Declare the vote.
6 yea, 2 nay.
By a vote of 6-2, your bill has passed, and we'll refer it out for further consideration.
Thank you, members. Thank you, committee.
I'm telling you, it is happening right before our eyes. So again, Florida, Alabama, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Ohio, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Texas, Wyoming, Massachusetts, Utah, and Arizona. It's only a matter of time till we see the rest of the states follow suit. And let's jump into the charts. All right, so Bitcoin still looking at the same support which we drew in the last video. It looks like we're still within this range overall, but it's clearly in a general uptrend for the most part. We did double top there, still holding this overall range at $91,000 is the major support, potentially as low as 87, which I highlighted in the last video. If I was to draw up a fib, that would clearly show as the major support. We've been in an uptrend since 2022, back when we went as low as $16,000, and ever since the price has just gradually increased ever since. Now, with the addition of states jumping in, a Bitcoin reserve, we're also seeing other countries jumping into Bitcoin. It's only a matter of time potentially where we may continue to see Bitcoin appreciate in value. Now, again, it still remains a highly speculative asset, but again, there's just so much good news coming out right now like we've never seen before. It's almost like people are numb to it at this rate. Let's jump into Ethereum. Ethereum, again, as we saw BlackRock loading up around here as of today, as we saw in the wallet that was being tracked from BlackRock. We can see where this big overall support line has formed, this being the current low, aside from that major sell-off that we saw more recently, which I wouldn't be surprised where we possibly saw institutions also buying that up. This range for now, buyers defending very well, and we may potentially see this rise with any big news coming out of Wall Street for any approvals. Looking at XRP, again, as we near potentially a decision being made tomorrow, still dancing at the 0.382 here, just at $2.40 to about $2.50. Things continue to ramp up. Again, look at that RSI still holding at the bottom there. Essentially everything you would want to see for potential upside, but we'll see how the market reacts tomorrow if the news does or doesn't come. Potential for this to move in any direction here, really. So we will see how the market reacts tomorrow. Let's take a quick look at Solana, who's also got a lot of news coming around, stating that their ETFs may be coming around as well. And we can see here the RSI as well in a favorable position, holding on to the overall 200-day EMA here. Actually, I don't have the 200. Let's go ahead and add that. Let's take a look at the volume as well. Just dancing and staying above that 200-day moving average, looking really good for a potential upside. Potentially, if that news comes out, I think we may say we have the potential of seeing, again, this asset appreciating in value. So if that news doesn't come out, we'll see how the market may react to that. But essentially for now, things looking pretty good. And Litecoin, again, with that 90% approval rating, taking it all the way from roughly $111 up to $122. Let's take a quick look and see where the potential of Litecoin may go. So overall, still looking really good on the greater scheme of zooming out on the chart. Let's draw a fib here from the previous high all the way to its current low, and this will give us a good idea of some of the zones where we may see things go. So I did have it already set up to the previous all-time high, but to the all-time high. Went ahead and just did it to the previous all-time high for this video. And we can see here contending with that first Fibonacci level at the 236. It's currently just trying to get above $128. We want to test this range where we can see a previous resistance zone as well as all the way up here. So between 228 and 275, 280 would be the next range. If we can break above 120, 127 roughly, then we look towards the previous all-time high of $411. If things really get euphoric, we can probably see around $500. And if things go absolutely bonkers, extended fibs show all the way up to $1,500 to $1,700. Again, that would really have to take it to like a euphoric type of level, but this is Bitcoin and the crypto markets, which had you asked anyone if Bitcoin could make it to $100,000 way back in 2011, they probably would have laughed at you. Again, here we are in 2025, And the price of Bitcoin is currently at $96,868. So a very interesting time to be alive in general when it comes to being able to potentially participate in this market. And again, this is not financial advice, but thanks again if you stuck around. It's been an interesting video today. I think overall we can clearly see that things are ramping up in the market. Thanks again for tuning in. If you haven't already, please consider a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.